What is going on, you guys? My name is Rage, and we are back today with some Doom 3 difficulty 4 raid guides. I haven't actually made these videos yet, just because I've been so busy with other content that I finally got some time in the new year to go ahead and do this. So in today's video, we're going to be walking through the bio nodes for nodes 1, utilizing the web warriors and their full usage there. That said, guys, I know that the web warriors is potentially going to get slotted out of the meta with now we have Rebirth coming into play here, but I still think they're going to be a viable team in the future because a lot of folks are still transitioning and trying to unlock Morgan Le Fay via the Pestilence Scourge with the web warriors. They'll always have a pretty decent place in the game just because they're really strong in raids, and especially if you don't want to go for immediately the Rebirth, and we don't even know how long it's going to take for this Rebirth team to be fully farmable as well, right? So in the meantime, a lot of the web warriors are actually available early in the game, so highly still recommend this team, but we will see in due time how hard they fall out of the meta as we see these higher and higher difficulties made. That said, got a lot of powerful characters here just because, again, they're utilized in the Pestilence Scourge, specifically for the unlock of Morgan Le Fay. Let's go through all their gear levels and upgrades, and then I'll show you the playthrough and video gameplay. That said, Ghost Spider, hands down, I would say she is probably the most important piece of this team just because of her utilization of crowd controlling aspect. Her web snare ultimate ability is super powerful in the sense that she can actually spread a bunch of negative conditions. Does not include stun or ability to block or trauma, but I mean blind, offense down, defense down, so forth. You know, it just does so much value. I also like her passive attacks whenever any of her fellow web warriors are attacked, so that's how strong mine is. Next up, we got Miles Morales. Interestingly enough, he can be slotted into the web warriors and the young Avengers, which is nice. He's got a bit of versatility there. I really like him for his disruption and as well special ability and being able to, you know, apply slow and reduce the turn meter of an enemy. A strong character overall. He has a natural stealth as well when he hits that HP threshold. Scarlet Spider works really well with Ghost Spider because he can extend negative conditions. He's got a powerful ability in terms of being able to apply slow, offense down, especially his basic, actually, you know, having the defense down, offense down as well, especially in raids and slow. So I mean, just provides a lot of negative conditions, and as there's negative conditions placed on the enemies, the web warriors special effect is them gaining positive buffs. So this really does help the overall dynamic and synergy of the team. Huge character to have for sure. We got OG Spider-Man Peter Parker here. He's just really there for the crowd controlling aspect, applying slow. He's got a powerful ultimate that can actually add a slow and a stun. I really like that aspect as well. One of the earliest characters you can get actually in the game. So I mean, I just love the dividends you can get early on, even unlocking him, a part of a late game end game team. And you can also, like I said, use him in high end competitive Doom difficulty rates. And last but not least, the weakest one on my team, to be honest, outside of the raid setting, he's probably the least important out of the 5, but in a raid setting, I would say he's either the second or third most important because of his ultimate ability here being called Amped Up. In raid specifically, he actually adds that very detrimental trauma for 2 full turns, but he needs Ghost Spider on his side to be able to do that. The attack cannot miss, and as well, like I said, it ensures that the enemies has trauma and their negative conditions therefore cannot be taken away. So a very, very powerful ability. Other than that, he's just raw damage DPS. So there you guys have it. Those are the respective upgrades for them 5. Let's dive into Node 1 gameplay now. Here we go, just setting up here. So total team power 891k. Always seems to get the job done. 3 out of these 5 again are the gear tier level 16. And then they make a meaningful difference, especially Scarlet Spider and Ghost Spider, being able to really benefit with each other, the amount of negatives. So I like to start things off by activating the ultimate arrow from Miles Morales. Adding the disruption really does help. Sometimes the other Ghost Spider on the other team does have that dodge, so can't get the disruption on there. That is okay. It is what it is. We're going to be conservative with Ghost Spider here. And then next, you want to activate Spider-Punk's ultimate here, activating the trauma, which is really huge for us, just being able to make sure that those conditions stick. And then at this point, because there is a taunt on, unfortunately, we have no choice but to just go ahead with the attack there. So now, afterwards, I do like to focus and just use Scarlet Spider, activating his basic attack here, and making sure that we're adding as much negatives as we can. At this point, Starlight, T'Challa, and Yondu are going to be in a weaker position, and with our retaliation attacks, they're going to be pretty close to being taken down. So we want to focus on Yondu and T'Challa. They're going to be squishier, and if you get the chance here, what I also like to do is maybe blind either Ghost Spider or Spider-Punk, because what we can do later on is we are going to spread it. So go ahead there, just trying to take out the T'Challa out of the way. It should spawn Ultron with another Scarlet Spider to face here, which is ideally where we want to be. Now, this Scarlet Spider, he can be the difference maker in this wave because of how powerful his dodges are, and him activating his ultimate could really hurt us. We landed the blind on Ghost Spider. Now we're going to use the ultimate for our Ghost Spider, and ideally the goal is to hopefully land the blind on everyone. As you can see, and you know, that's the majority of it. It did not land on Spider-Punk, so we are going to focus on him just to focus them. Again, the dodges really do make it pretty challenging. That's why we want to focus as much damage as possible, and they can still do a lot of damage even despite not having the full web warriors against us. So just look at the number of dodges they have, right? That's why it's really important, because now we blinded their Ghost Spider and their Scarlet. It's not a big deal for us, and you can see that ultimate could have hurt us, but we had a lot of dodges on our team as well. So now we're in a really good spot. We're going to go ahead now, activate more of the special here, just to spread negative conditions. But you can see, you know, our OG Spider-Man almost got wiped out too. So these guys can hit really hard in this 3.4 setting, and that's ideally why we want to focus on these guys as much as possible, especially their web warriors, right? So sometimes some waves can be better than others, you know, like that instance right there. If Ultron gets his chance to utilize his ultimate, it could take us out, but usually I would have a stun, which is handy. So it is what it is. We're still going to focus on some of the damage dealers here. So I'm just going to go ahead there, and we're going to rewind Ultron because we do have their Scarlet Spider actually stunned, which is really good for us. Ultron's going to revive again, and now I'm going to go ahead and still resume my attack on Scarlet Spider, just because, again, we just want to take him down. And even if they take out 1 or 2 guys on our team, it's not a big deal because we can easily revive them in preparation for the next node anyways. The focus really is going to be taking down these web warriors. They do more damage than the Ultron. Even though this wave is smaller and a smaller node overall, it can be tricky if you don't get the right luck. So this is a good spot to be. We have everybody on max HP. We got energy being granted the next node, so that sets us up for node 2. But that's essentially how I attempt node 1 overall using this team. Works really well. But it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen in the future with the Rebirth team likely taking over the bio meta, right? So who knows? This video may be dated later on, but for now, if you guys have your web warriors built because of the Famine Scourge, the Pestilence Scourge in the unlock of Morgan Le Fay, and as well as initially when we saw them coming out to replace symbiotes, they're still a good team overall. But as we go higher and higher in these Doom raid difficulties, they likely will be replaced. So it'd be interesting to see how many folks are going to transition over to that Rebirth team. But in the meantime, this is how I attempted, guys. If you're building out your web warriors, I still think they're a solid team, but you know, only in due time is going to see, you know, how the Rebirth team is going to replace them over time. So there you guys have it. Thank you as always. Do appreciate you checking my videos, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.